are seeing the skate park and you're fantasizing on the lines you'd be doing on this one. It's such an unusual setup that everything is possible. Lots of different transfers, lots of different tricks, and not so many big spins. But a lot of creativity will be displayed on this course today. So I hope you all stay tuned because it's promising to be a really interesting finals. Lots of really heavy contenders, always a different style. Lots of very specific signature tricks for all of them. So it's going to be interesting to see. 59.25. Yeah, we can really hope he gets to improve on the second score. With this line, with the run format that we have, like any fall is going to cost them a lot of points right away. So you got to pull the perfect 50 seconds run if you want to compete with Julian Kudo, who's first so far in the rankings. And now we got Mr. Tomek Pšibilic. Sorry, I mispronounced this one, but now I think I got it a little bit better.
How are you supposed to say it?
Pšibilic. Or so Tomo said.
Okay.
But yeah.
AJ always used to tell me that it was Freestyle. But Polish is a little bit of a strange language. I don't really want to get into pronunciation. I'm sure I've been butchering a lot of Japanese names as we go over here. I apologize out of the sincerity of my heart. I'm just trying to do my best. As commentators, we're here to bring you action, not proper grammatics.
Yeah, and AJ told me to do some research on this one. So, Tomek, I hope I pronounce it well, just as well as you perform this run, because so far you can see a really flawless one. He's been pulling tricks everywhere on this course. The man from Poland, representing head on skate and USD, is and Blade Club. AJ would be pissed at me if I forgot to mention Blade Club. Tomo for pro.
You're having a little rival, a little friendly rival with AJ, aren't you?
Nah, it's not rivalry, but AJ gave me some pointers. I'm really trying to do my best to make him proud, you know, of me standing in this.
You are, Freddie. You're doing us all proud. I'm very happy for the both of you. I'm so happy to actually the entire community for being able. We can come out here and be a family. Super nice that we're all out in Japan, isn't it? And the sun's shining.
The sun is shining. This is really nice because yesterday, I must tell you, in the wind on the course, it was really freezing cold.
And it was cold, and I had the flu, and I wanted to,
you know, sick like such a terrible way.
It was horrible. The first day I came off the plane. Anyways, it's not about me.
But just so you know, really putting in the work, you can see the commentators are tired, they overworked, they even have the flu, they have to work through all the hassles to get all the way to Japan to present to you this wonderful contest. And now we have Jerasak Tassorn. I personally call him coach, is one of those two guys that actually have pushed me a lot in the past years on my skates. So Jerasak from Thailand, from Bangkok, is one of those guys you can expect to be performing at a very high level, always. He's always 100%. As soon as he put the skates on, he's got all those tricks. You can see him like lots of power. He's going all over the course and he's really focused. He's been competing for a long time. He's 36 years old, and I think you would never guess it until I told you so. See this big transfer is already like 40 seconds into his run. Oh, and the stall on the side of the plexi wall, that's a nice feature to end the run. And 3 seconds to go. What does Jerasak have? That's it. Well, Brother John, you did good. Really happy. I really hope, and that's maybe a bit too personal to say on this, but maybe some of you guys will agree, and if you do, please post it in the comment when you're watching this. I really hope to see this guy in Montpellier. I think he has a lot to bring to the series. He has an old school style of competing, I guess, of riding park. He's been, I guess he was competing in the Asian X Games 15 years ago, starting his run with double backflips, some stuff that you've only getting to see in FISE like the past few years. So he's really got this experience that I hope to see more on this series.
Jerasak, hopefully, if he gets, I believe, in that top 5 round, we will be seeing him in Montpellier.
Fingers crossed for that.
Let's see this happen from the judges, and hopefully his riding will easily showcase that.
I mean, he's got lots of competition today. It's not going to be easy for him.
It's going to be a tough contest, that's for sure. You know, something that we've been mentioning in all the disciplines, actually, this is the first contest. The first city, the new city, yes, and there we go. Pushes into a comfortable second place there with a 73.75. Right below Julian Kudo. And I mean, to mention, Julian Kudo is always very high on our board, winning multiple FISE editions in the past.
Yeah, he's 2 times champion, and you've seen him in Jeddah just a couple of weeks ago. He's known for doing perfect run after perfect run and make it very hard for his opponents to get back on top. But let's see, this is another guy from Thailand. It's my brother Note, the Kayan Project's long-lost brother. He's back in Hiroshima to show that he still has the skills, and damn, this guy too, like, it's one of the faces I wish we would see on the tour more often.
Both these guys have such cool style, actually, just coming out with vengeance on this course. Look at how he's shredding from one side to the other. Unfortunately, just missing that plexiglass coping lip halfway up.
Little miss at the end of his run, and he's
but wow, really nice style coming all the way through that run. Explosive out of the gate. One of the few riders I've seen dropping and hitting directly that, let's say, box feature.
Yeah, he's got it for sure. Like, I've seen him miss a couple times, like overspin or underspin, and it's not that he falls. He just looks a little bored when he mislends it. But this one was perfect landing, maybe a bit low, but still keeping all the power. You can see it in those legs. He's really got it. And would you believe it, this guy was in a Buddhist monastery for 6 months a couple of years ago. He's done a lot of, I guess, meditation and eating lots of rice, lots of weight, but came back stronger mentally. And it's good to see him back on such a contest. He was a bit shy of those bigger events in the past couple of years, and to see him here in Hiroshima, I only heard about it the day before he got here, and that was the nicest surprise. I hope you guys watching this, all 5,000 millions of you behind the screens, enjoying it as much as I am. A little injury here for Note. I hope he's fine.
Yeah, it looks like he maybe cut himself on that coping feature as he slipped on the plexiglass there. But that is part of the sport, and he was rewarded right there with a 70.25. Many things he's actually going to have to clean up, I guess, to stay up top there.
Definitely, but like, hopefully the plexi will be fine next time, because he had a really good line going. So if he keeps it going all the way till the end, he might very well have a chance to get on one of the top spots. And now we have Anthony Avella, one of those guys who's been competing forever as well. He was judging with us in Jeddah 2 weeks ago, judging the contest, and now he's competing. He's 34 years old, a proud father of 2, and still going really hard with those big spins, high amplitude. He's going really fast, and he's got like really complicated, like, technical run that includes not only big spin but smaller tricks, or what appear to be smaller tricks, like this soul grind on the spine, which actually add a bit of technical spice to his run. So there was a little hiccup here, but he's still back at it, and he might still score very, very high, because he's got this line still going with the fakie and the cradle, and tricks all the way till the end with the fakie 5 on the butter. That was a good one, despite this little miss, this little hiccup on the spine right there. Actually, it's gonna be interesting, you know, Ryan, to see how well the judge ranked his run right there, because he missed, yet he kept on going, and he still laced a lot of tricks on a lot of different obstacles. So it's going to be interesting to see how many points is he going to be taken out for this little miss right there. I'm not sure that was proper English, but you know what? Behind your screen, you're going to get used to that French accent, because this is the FISE. We're international.
Hey,
but you'll have to excuse my French.
I don't even know if my English is proper anymore. I've been gone too long.
No, it is. Ryan, I assure you it is.
I assure you that some Canadians would say it's not.
Well, French people would probably say, like, none of my French or my English is actually proper. So
it's okay. It's because we're so international. We're traveling around the globe. That's right. 5-stop FISE World Series Tour this year. 66.5. Not the highest score for Avella.
But see, that was one of the things. Like, he still did lots of tricks, but he missed right in the middle of his run. So it's interesting to see how the judges see that and how they score that little fall. But now we're back on top with Julian Kudo, who's like now comfortably sitting in first position so far with a really high score. Oh, and see, that's a little miss. So it's gonna be hard to improve on that first run where he really went all the way until the end. Big flat 5 transfer on that spin, on that hip.
I was actually noticing maybe something was a little off with Julian Kudo in the last couple of weeks, but
I don't think so. But then, you know, like he's like all of us, he's had to travel to Japan. There's the time difference to get used to,
Yeah,
and then the weather has been changing a lot too. So it's something you have to get accustomed to.
yeah, it takes a lot. I mean, you can't just nice backflip fakie.
That's it for his run. I think. Okay, my guess, it's as good as yours. I would just imagine it's going to be hard for the judges to give him a higher note on this one. Although he did tricks everywhere, it definitely didn't have the flow. There was this fall in the first third of his run. I can't imagine he will get a better score on this one.
But pretty bold of the judges actually stomping out with Julian was the first rider out of the gate, first run out of the gate, scoring an 84.25. I said that was a little high. We're going to have to see how that goes. I mean,
as a judge, it's hard to say. The first run is always the really tricky one because that's where you set the tone for the rest of the contest. So if you have a really, really good performance, it's going to be tricky to not under-evaluate it either. So 84 sounded just about right.
Okay, I'll eat my words. I'll eat my words for this time.
No, like don't. It's not like I have any experience in the business. Just kidding. Let's go with Maxime Genoux.
I love that hip transfer.
Yeah, and he's
right over that straight quarter.
He's got a really nice run too. He's like trying to use all the different obstacles on this course as well. But I guess they all are. They just are doing it in different ways. And compared to one of the most classical skate parks, all of them really have to bring their own flavor to it. And they all have really different runs, which makes it really exciting for us. I hope it is for you, Ryan, and it looks like it is.
It is for me.
All of you behind your screen.
Super excited to be presenting this to you guys. I mean,
damn, that was a really nice one.
That would have been very cool, actually.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really done it now. I didn't see it in the practice. I didn't see it yesterday. This wall ride to disaster grind. That's something that Maxime can really do. He's got lots of speed. You can see it on this transfer. He's really pushing hard on the transition. Big hairs is had a really good run. It's too bad he missed on that one. And that was a 540 for all of you wondering what happened when he hit that spine. So Maxime Genoux with the fall on the wall ride to disaster topsoul. Is he going to improve on this first run? What do you think?
So Maxime sitting right now with his first run score, bottom of the list in 6th place there with a 59.25. He is going to improve 69 even. That puts him in a nice 5th place, just one step above where he was previously set.
Yeah, I guess the 69 is all he really came to Japan for anyway. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm supposed to make these kind of jokes. I'm sorry, folks. But Maxime has been really hard to be in Japan. He's been really enjoying the trip here. It was really juiced. Too bad he lost half the batteries in China on the way for his cameras. But he's making this really nice photo book of his trips on the world tour. So I hope you get to check some of his pictures out and even support. He made a GoFundMe campaign for his newer book. So if you get a chance, check out his Facebook profile and you get all the info there. But for now, back with Tomo and a really nice topsoul disaster over the plexi wall. Again, Tomo has been coming strong on this one. I know him more as a street skater, but then he showed up at the FISE a couple of years ago, put together some really strong runs, and now he's skating this park, this skateball, as you said, with really nice runs. Like he's not falling anywhere. He's doing tricks on all the obstacles. Again, that's a really nice performance, strong performance by Tomek Shibilik. And yeah, surprising tricks like this stall on the on the fence and this big soul grind on top of the wall. That was a really strong run. He really hit all the biggest obstacles. Big 5 on the big lip. Damn, that was impressive. I hope you enjoyed this, because that might be one of the best runs you're gonna see today. So far, maybe the best even, we don't know. Let's see what the judges say. Is he gonna be able to beat Julian Kudo with this big disaster soul on the wall ride? And I know you Polish guys, all the head on skate, all the big crew in Poland, one of the best scenes in the world, are gonna be watching this. I know you hated me a lot for saying Tomo was 21 or even 16 or even 11 last time, so I'm gonna be able to say with confidence today that Tomo is 26, is probably representing Poland, and he's done so with really great style and really great tricks today. So let's see how it unfolds with the score. Come on, judges, you're keeping us on our toes. Really nice setup too, I must say. We were talking about wheels last time, and I promise we're not gonna do this time, but Tomo has a really nice setup of USD Aeon skates. This time he went for smaller wheels, surprisingly, but he's got some really nice black and out Carlos Pianowski USD Aeons. And I'm a bit jealous of that setup. Oh, he improves. He improves on his from his first run with a 72.5 score. So he's now sitting in 3rd place, but the man Jurasak Tasorn from Thailand, representing Black Limited brand from Bangkok, he's running for a few years already. And he starts with, oh man, look at this. Alu Fishy. All I can say is taking lots of risks too. He doesn't skate safe at all. Jurasak is one of those guys always going 100%. You should see him skate his local park in Bangkok. He might not be too comfortable with the pressure of the crowd or having to share the space with too many people he's not used to. But I can tell you, this guy's got more power than anyone else. He's 36 years old. And too bad he falls on this little spin right there at the end of his run.
Very gracefully, mind you.
He's Thai. Everything has to be done gracefully and with great humility in Thailand, and that's probably why I love this guy so much. He's one of the most humble person I know. The humblest? Is that the word?
The most humble, I think.
The most
the
humble.
Humblest. Yeah,
It sounds weird, right?
Yeah, I would say the most humble. It's like you can't say.
Yeah, here we go for the English lessons, folks. Sorry, you'll have to deal with us and our poor language skills. I hope you don't hate us too much, but look at AJ. AJ is also one of those Bangkok, how do you say, one of those Bangkok locals or
Refugees?
Refugees? No, but he likes to travel there and is a good friend of...
he's found himself wiped up on the shore there a few times, let's say.
A few times, yeah. And these guys have always welcomed him with open hearts and open arms. And yeah, Jurasak and now Note.
Beautiful amplitude right there. Did he transition perfectly?
Yeah, Note has one of these really clean styles. You can see how clean he is with the landing of every single trick, always on top of the ramp.
Second
plexi wall. Who put that plexi wall on the course? Come on, Pascal. I'm sorry for that.
I do not know that he could not hit the coping properly.
Oh man, he's one of them. Like, you should see this guy skating a rail. It would blow your mind right away. Maybe that's why of those little things in Thailand. Maybe it's something in the air, the atmosphere, or the really nice food. But these guys really have a consistency in their skating that's really impressive. And see, even after a fall, Note was able to do some technical stuff all over the course. He's just cruising around and still making tricks look better than I will ever be able to. So Note, thank you for that too, showing me how it's supposed to be done and showing all of the people watching this how a big flat 3 is supposed to be done, landing perfectly on top of the transition. Same here, look at this, all the power in this man. Let's see what the judges say. I must say that's been one of the most interesting part in this contest. We have so these two guys from Thailand, Woapoj and Jerasak, you've just seen them skate. They have really amazing skating, really strong skating. But we also have some people that are locals here. We have someone like Takeshi Yasutoko, whom you'll see in the second heat, who's able to destroy a skate park, destroy street spots, as you will see in his next street section, produced by our good friend Richie Eisler, but is mostly known for being the best, and I will stand by those words too, the best vert rider in any sport ever. Some people, I didn't find the quotes again, but some people from any sport, skateboarding, BMX, have talked about the Yasutoko brothers as being the best vert riders to ever skate on this planet. You can see him on the right side of the screen right there, Takeshi. So we have some Thai people. Oh, see Takeshi right there. Note, they've been long-time friends. These guys have been competing on every contest all around the world since they were teenager or kids even. So they know themselves. They know each other really well, and it's good to see here in Hiroshima the local skaters and Asian skaters in general taking over and having this really strong showing in those inline finals.
That is something that I think I was trying to make a note of previously and never finished my sentence. We had some scores revealed in there, but you're touching base on how we have some local Japanese presence inside this top 12 finals out here. And that's something that we've noticed in all the disciplines that we have for the sports categories at the FISE here in Japan. This is personally my first event that we've gone to with the FISE World Series where it's a new event. Oh, and look at that, a 72.12. So he puts him into a fourth place. We'll have to see how well that sits. But let me finish my thought there. This is the first time that we've gone to a new city. We have new host cities all the time. And this is our first time to Japan, but it's the first time as well that the host city has competitors who are in the top categories of every single sports discipline, which is really nice to see. It shows that there's such a good influence of these sports pushed within Japan culture.
I think there might be many explanations to that, but I think Japan has always, despite its history, has always been way more open to, oh no, big fail for Anthony Avella at the start of his run. I'm sorry to interrupt with that one, but damn, Anthony he's been pushing really hard for this, and it's a bit sad to see him fall right there because it's going to impact his run even more than his fall on the first one. But going back to Japan, and thankfully we're here in Hiroshima to be able to witness it. The culture here has always been really open to, I would say, extreme sports and action sports in general, but also urban culture like b-boying. These guys have been all about breakdancing for a really long time. So you've been able to see it yesterday on the flatland area with a b-boy contest. They have people like the Yasutoko brothers who have been on the forefront of the scene for vert competition. Since 20 years, you've had people like Shaki Ito, who has been a legend of street skating here. He was competing in the very first Nice contest in 1996 and 1997. These guys have really been here forever, so you can see they've also brought after them a new generation of skaters. You will see it in the second heat with someone like Yuto Goto, for instance, who is the second coming, is like the third coming. Saying Soichiro, who's now judging, has been the second coming and the best, arguably the best Japanese street skater in the past decade. And Yuto Goto is now taking over. Like, these guys have always had this amazing smooth style. You can see it. I've seen it on skateboarding yesterday on the course. I see it today on the skate park. It's amazing. These guys have the science of movement. It's hard to explain, but the smoothness of their style is really what sets them apart. So I guess in any sports here, it will show.
Yeah, definitely. And you see right there, there's your top 6 leaderboard that was just on the screen. Julian Kudo is sitting on top there with an 84.25. But just to agree completely with what you're saying there, I think it's amazing, actually. And they all seem to express their own diversity within the style, which is something I just love to see. Let's take a look at some highlight looks, just what happened here in heat number 1.
So we've had big tricks from the Thai guys. You had Jerasak and Note. We talked about them, like see Note flying over the course right there. But we've also had like French legend, long time OG. He skated the X Games. He skated vert ramp as well. Anthony Avella, who unfortunately like missed a couple tricks on both his runs. And then the guy from Poland coming in really strong, Tomek Przybylik, sorry about that, I'm going to try to improve on the pronunciation still. But these guys have been flying all over the course. They showed you some of the possibilities, and I guess it's only going to get better from here. Second heat is going to be really strong. And they'll have to go strong. They have to go hard and put together some of the best lines, because this was a really strong first heat already. You've seen some of the highlights. These guys have pulled together some amazing runs so far, and they'll have to go against 2016 and 2017 FISE World Series champion Julian Kudo. And maybe this guy is the answer. He was second last year in the FISE World Series. Yuma Baudouin from France, from Gap. He's representing Goats, Skates and Brand, and Amscas Association. Big up to the guys in Marseille. And now we have Yuma going in for his first run, and look at this one. You can see this guy has got some big spins going over the quarter pipes here and there, and boom, dropping it into the big bowl. That's where it really starts, with the big 540 back rail transfer and back on the plexi wall with a topsoul going all the way to the hip. You can see he's got lots of tricks. He's got grinds, he's got spins. Now what about the line? He's been going with a really solid one so far, but that's really what's going to make the difference today, I guess, on his skateboard, as you described it, Ryan.
Exactly. Looks like he has some nice flow. However, Yuma, you said it was very interesting how some of these French riders can carry such good speed around the park with their setup.
Oh, we're going into the setup discussion again. Some people are gonna hate us for that on Facebook. I read the comments, you guys. The explanations, I had a few. All I can say is maybe Yuma can skate smaller wheels because he's only 19 years old. He's been used to skating these gigantic parks since he was very young.
Oh, seen as you just went into that can of worms, I'll give you a little tip.
No, not
I'm gonna give you a little tip. Just don't read what people write.
No, it's good. Like, I need the feedback. You know, all you guys listening. I'm just starting, so I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna read any of your comments.
You guys out there online, you want to give me like some peace of mind? Come on, say it to my face. I would love to have a discussion with all of you in person. I would love it. It works perfectly well. Like, let's do it face to face. But your chit chat online, not good enough. Yuma Baudouin, 80.75, good enough for second place, right behind his French homie Julian Kudo.
Yeah, he's a strong contender for sure. You've seen him pull tricks all over the course. But just to finish what you were saying, we are indeed traveling.
Okay, no, but you know what I was gonna finish saying. Freddie White is a legend out here. He's been doing this longer than you guys probably know what inlining is. So give the man some credit and respect where it's due. Sam Croft dropping in here with a beautiful 540 right there.
And I'd like to say thanks, Ryan. That was really touching, and I'm almost crying behind my screen, but I don't have the time to do such things because Sam Croft, this newcomer from Holland, representing that brand, like this homemade, everything is handmade actually. Those skates are put together in Holland by Peter and Olga. Shout out to you guys. And he's just come really strong. He competed, I think, in a couple stops last year, but this year he really decided to go all in, and so you can see him now traveling all the way to Japan to prove that he's got the skills. He qualified in 5th place yesterday, and boom, look at him. He's going all over the course. Maybe a couple hiccups here and there, but still, all the way till the end of his run.
Very solid skating from the young Dutchman right there.
Yeah, Sam is only 22 years old, one of the youngest guy here on this course. And he's been fortunate, I guess, to be skating this really great place in Rotterdam called Skateland, one of those skate parks that always had like big obstacles for rollerbladers. One of those parks that had different course, but especially the main course was aimed mostly at rollerbladers to go bigger, improve their skills, and I guess that's also why Sam is able to show up on such a huge course and compete and get one of the top 5 spots right away against, let's say, some of the French guys who've been able to compete on FISE contests for a longer time, and some of the most experienced guys like CJ, Takeshi, and Joe, and all these guys that have been really part of the circuit for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget the FISE has been pushing inline so heavily for many, many years out there in Montpellier. But the Netherlands does have a very dominant scene when it comes to inline. I mean, we do host, so I mean, you're talking as if I'm Netherlands, but so first off, sorry, Sam just coming in with a nice score there of 75.77, really good, good enough for 3rd place right there. We're going to have to see how that holds, but like I was saying, the Netherlands does have an amazing amount of parks and contests going out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's had it for a long time. You've seen Sven Bokke sitting in the judging booth. This guy was also one of these really old school legends. Oh, I'm sorry, but this was too good.
That was so nice. All the way up onto the top sub box there.
All right, let's go back to the Netherlands in a little while, but for now it's all about Japan, because this guy, Yuto Goto, is the new face of street skating in Japan. You might have seen him perform in lots of online edits for MFT brand, for instance, or for Valo, rest in peace. But is also really shone in Jonas Hansen's latest masterpiece called State of the Art. He shared a section with his mentor, Soichiro Kanashima, and you can see this guy,
Yuto, really has a nice style there, just dissecting this course completely in an individual style. You see as he's slid from one side of that spine to the other coping side, using it really as a spine, but in a grind way that we haven't seen any other competitor do so far today.
Yeah, he's put some really amazing grinding maneuvers, and look at this alley back far on the giant wall, and he starts his run every time with this perfect. This wall ride to alley-oop topsoul, that was definitely one of the big stunts in there. It might not look as big as maybe the 9 or just a big spins you used to see in a flybox, and yet it is just as hard, if not harder, to land this trick. It requires lots of precision, it requires lots of different skills in various areas, and pulling together such a run should score this guy some really good points.
Look at that beautiful audience out here in Hiroshima. So excited that everyone has packed in. The sun is out. The stadium is full over here. Just waiting for the scores to come in for Yuto.
But man, is it good to be in Japan. I personally have been waiting for 10 years to actually get over here and seeing this crowd welcoming us and seeing Yuto Goto get 3rd spot for now in the rankings. It's amazing, actually. I feel blessed, and I hope you guys watching this are enjoying it as much as we are right now.
I would really like to see Yuto actually come out with a solid 2nd run as well there and maybe disrupt some of the top 3. But right now, we're going to another place down under. CJ Wellsmore dropping in for his 1st run out here, and some huge amplitude on that spin.
Oh, and that was, see this little plexi bump back to the hip? That was a technical part. You see the guys cruising through, but just using it to bounce from one side of the hip to the other is actually really hard. And CJ looks a bit confused, and it still is pulling together a really solid run. He qualified in 3rd place yesterday after, let's say, kind of a short night. He didn't rest as good as he should have. Jet lag is really kicking in, you know. And
we've all had that trouble out here.
I mean, you worse than anyone else, I must say. But damn, look at CJ, he's still going, and he's one of those guys. He can skate anything. He's pulled some amazing street sections together, especially for Dom West Vine Street and Chapter 2 videos. But you also see him skate park on all the big contests, and you know he's one of the top contenders. But what is really special about him is he can skate bowl like no one else can. He's used to that big manly bowl in Sydney, where he really flies higher than, I would say, mostly anyone else, including bikers and skateboarders. He's really used to high airs, and damn, CJ with the big smile might be a bit disappointed. Was a bit sketchier than he would have liked, I would assume.
Yeah, there, I would say two points at the start of his run where he could clean up, where he's coming back up into that hop section around the half bowl.
Yeah, most definitely some room for improvement for CJ, but I've seen him win contests with a broken collarbone. I've seen him destroy skate parks. I've seen him skate the Podium or the WRS finals while he was absolutely physically destroyed, and he comes up strong here with a 79.5 score, so that puts him in 3rd place so far. Really good showing for CJ, and as you said, he can definitely clean it up for his 2nd run, so there's definitely a chance we see this guy in a top position, maybe 1st place. Who knows? You think you know? I don't know.
I would like to see CJ, Yuto all up top there, but another Japanese local, let's say, dropping in for his 1st run.
And not just a local, but a legend. This guy. Look at this. Damn. If you know a little bit about blading, and even if you don't know, look at the spin. This guy is going up in the air. And
wow. How can you compete with some of those aerial maneuvers right there?
You can't. Nobody can. That's why him or his brother were winners of every single vert contest because of this kind of move. For 5 years, no one was able to defeat either him or his brother Eito. The Yasutoko name was always 1st place in any vert contest for more than 5 years straight. These guys have just changed the whole game up. They destroyed any contest. They brought lots of really specific moves, signature moves, spun harder and bigger than anyone else. The amplitude that this guy has shown on the vert is able to bring to a park. That's what's really amazing.
And the confidence that he just showed on course out here in Hiroshima. Look at the amplitude right there.
Oh man, it's really, and not only is he putting those big tricks on the big quarter pipe, but he's also able to link them all together. He's doing this big line that includes everything.
Okay.
It has flow, it has amplitude, and yeah, it shows a lot of creativity as well. He's got tricks that no one can touch.
Wow.
So that's going to be a hard one for Mr. Joe Atkinson, currently sitting in 1st place after the qualification, or Mr. Julian Kudo, who just pulled together an amazing run. It's going to be hard for this guy to compete with Mr. Takeshi Yasutoko.
Oh, you see there, yeah, Julian Kudo is currently sitting up top in 1st place with his 1st run score and the 1st run score of the day, that 84.25.
Hello, Takeshi. One of the nicest guys on the circuit, one of the nicest smiles as well.
We're going to have to see if Takeshi is able to beat that score. No, it's not going to be enough. An 83.87 puts the Japanese in 2nd place, mixing up the podium spot, but not good enough to bump out Julian Kudo. Now we are down to our last competitor of the day. We will go back and re-rack for 2 more runs, but it is all about white-bladed British man Joe Atkinson on top, about time to start his 50 seconds on the clock. To the top of the sub box.
Go, Joe, go! Mr. Joe Atkinson, all the way from Yorkshire, pulling together one of the most amazing runs we've seen on this course. Actually, the best ranked run yesterday for the qualification semi-finals.
And if I could estimate why, it's because he has such diversity flowing all the way across the park, keeping his momentum, but showcasing different tricks on every single section. A little bobble right there as you saw him come out of the wall.
Handflip 360, I told you in Jeddah, this is some of my favorite moves to see on such a course, on such a spine. He had a bad fall there. You could say like he didn't pull the run he wanted to pull. He had a couple hiccups along the way as well, and he can definitely clean it up. If he pulls it together the way he wants to, though, I think it's going to be really hard to touch him. Look at this. He's just floating over this big transfer. It's a really hard one. It's really much different and much harder. It's a really steep takeoff, way different from the usual fly box you could see on such a course, here at FISE at least. And yeah, he's put together a really good run, but definitely far from what he has in mind. But let's see, because you know what, it was still a really amazing performance. He still touched all the transfer, all the biggest hips, all the big spins. He put some technical grinding tricks in there as well. So despite this little fall at the end, he might put together one of the best things we've seen so far. Let's see, I would say what happened with Takeshi, although he's sitting a fraction of a point. See, oh no, we got a top 3 to work with, a top 5 even. I would say Takeshi put a lot of pressure on Julian Kudo because he's sitting right behind him, and just a little difference, a little bit more. Damn, I'm at a loss for words. It's hard to say. It's really nothing separating those two from the top spot, and Joe is right behind them as well. So I guess right now it's anybody's can take this. That's probably why I can't find words anymore, because I'm just as excited as you guys are, as you are, Ryan.
But a competitor who was just sitting right below Julian Kudo previously before he dropped in, and now is all the way in 4th place, has to answer back to Joe Atkinson.
And you can see he's been trying to like up the ante from his previous round. He went, instead of the simple topsoil, for 450 hard spin topsoil on the plexi roll. He put the hands down, so that might take away from the score a little bit, but that was still like, oh no, that was a little miss right there. But it's funny that he could do the hard spin topsoil so easy on the bigger obstacle and missed this little topsoil on the quarter pipe.
Looks like could just be fatigue as well.
Yeah, end of his run. Like, this is a long 50 seconds on this course for sure. You got to have the stamina, you got to have the right breathing technique to go all the way through, you know. And yeah, definitely a bit disappointing for Yuma. He was going all in and he could have worked, but too bad. This little topsoil is gonna cost him a better score. Yeah. So now we're back on top with Sam Croft on top of the big wall, representing the Netherlands. And that's it, we go. Lots of speed in this guy. Boom, high amplitude, 540 on the big hip. And he's really cruising. He has a nice line as well. And now that we've seen some of the top guys, the question always is gonna be, we've seen the first goal, we've got the first rankings. And the question is always going to be, is it good enough to take over Julian Kudo's first run? I think Julian is pulling a little jet on us, you know? Gets this perfect run on the first one, and everybody's like, oh, this is going to be a hard one to beat. And then he does better on the second one and keeps on improving, so the pressure never stops.
Sam, unfortunately, going right down.
See, that's the mental... the Jeddah mind tricks that Julian is pulling on everyone. He's putting so much pressure that everybody knows that anything less than perfect will not get them the first spot. A little unfortunate on that fall there. Sam's got a lot of power. He was definitely going for an interesting run. There were a couple of things he could have cleaned up a bit, but yet really amazing performance for this first stop of the FISE World Series 2018 in Hiroshima. Crazy that so many skaters from so many different places actually came out here. It's really amazing to see them all in Japan, really going hard for that top spot on the podium and a chance to go to Montpellier for the next one. And going back to Japan, since we have a little time waiting for the scores here, I must say I've been blessed. Despite the flu, I would say you've been blessed. We've all been blessed to be welcomed so well here by the people in Hiroshima, walking the streets of the city at night, earning myself the nickname of the Walker. It's been amazing to see this little piece of Japan right there. And all of us have been fortunate to have a FISE event held here in this place that has such a long history. With inline skating, wow, 270 out, back in the transition. That was not only technical, it was big, it was risky. Yuto is really going in for his second and final run with the wall ride to alley-oop topsoil. That was absolutely perfect. damn, big 3 on the transition. He has 20 more seconds to go. So maybe the line has been broken up a few times, but he's got big tricks everywhere. Look at this, and everything is really, really well done. Oh no! He surprised himself. This was going so well. Using the spine, going with the front side U-fold from one side to the other, but he looks happy. He's really pulled together some of the best tricks we've seen all day. Look at this, like the wall ride, alley-oop topsoul, steez all the way to the other side of the hip. That was really, really amazing to see. This guy, we used to see him on the street or maybe a more jam-oriented contest that is won, including the power in the United States. But here on this ball, it was hard to say what he would come up with. And then you see him and go for the 270 back far up the wall. First go every try, he's got it perfect. That was really amazing to see him perform on this course. Second run doesn't improve, unfortunately. So he's now currently sitting in 6th place. And we have 3 more guys to go. Are we allowed to take bets? What would you say, Ryan?
I would say no. So,
all right. So no bets, but this guy is a gambler anyway. CJ Wellsmore on the course.
Oh no! Oh, he's super upset with it. How is that possible? I was just gonna say, so incredible. CJ is the only athlete taking that plexiglass sub-transfer and making it a hip.
Yeah, I told you on the first one, it's a really technical thing to do, and you probably thought, oh, this guy Freddy is talking nonsense again.
No.
But no, as CJ just proved, it's really technical actually to get like the right takeoff, bounce off just the right way to get the hip and land in good position. So unfortunately he had this big fall and then a couple more miss. So now you know he's just doing it for the crowd, and no, that's a 720 that he will not roll away.
Okay, unfortunate CJ Wellsmore upset in run number 2.
Oh, it doesn't look that upset. Look at the crowd, look at CJ. I think they're both enjoying each other's company.
Yeah, absolutely amazing turnout that we have for our first edition of the FISE World Series in Japan and of the tour.
And CJ spins incredible. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but the way this guy,
he kind of has
look at this.
Yeah, just how he contorts with his torso and his arms wrap in such different way, and his skates still stay in this kind of like steezy but delayed movement as they come in. I love it.
He's got the late spins, as you say. That's the upper body movement that just like brings the whole spin together. And I guess maybe that's all the bodyboarding and all the surfing he's been doing in Australia, or maybe all the time he spent with the banter boys down in Sydney, eh?
Possibly, and there we go to these huge inverted airs from Takeshi.
Yeah, those spins, nobody's got them. Maybe one guy on the planet, and he has the same last name. That would be his brother, Eito. And damn, once again, look at this run.
So beautiful. I think he's switching it up quite a bit. Switching
it up, and he's bringing like this perfect flow together as well. That's what's amazing, not just the tricks, but how he puts them together in one line when it's some of the hardest spins you could ever do on a pair of skates. So now I'm gonna ask, did you ever get to see this guy skate before, Aaron? On the course? On the skate park? Because it's only been a handful of times.
In person? No.
All right.
No, I haven't. I've honestly hardly been able to watch anyone except for doing the lives with out here. So this is my first time seeing him skate in a FISE contest.
Well, I would say it's the same for most people watching this.
Yeah.
Even like people that have been playing for a long time, you didn't see Takeshi on a skate park.
Very
ever.
cool.
Yeah, those spins, man. Like it's really hard to mess with that. It's just flying. That's what like skating.
Honestly, it takes me back
does
like
you.
that. That feels like it takes me back to when You know, I first started watching action sports events at the X Games in like 1999, 2000.
It was probably already on the vert back then.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
That's what I mean, and that's what it feels like. Like I'm back watching these events where I am so entrenched by it, I have almost nothing to say, and I'm just blown away. It's super cool watching this.
Yeah, and I mean, it's super cool for me to watch it too, because it's only happened a handful of times that you could see this guy competing on a like more classic skate park setup.
We're just gonna have to wait and see actually if this is going to be enough to rival our current hot seat leader, the man who's sitting on top right now with an 84.25. It is! It's going to be enough. 85, just narrowly zipping him out, but taking the lead right there. The Japanese crowd and the Japanese locals have spoken.
All right, so now there's only one guy that that still has a chance to take that top spot from the man Takeshi.
Joe Atkinson, the one man who can take it, dropping in on course.
Let's see if he can do it again. He qualified in first place yesterday with the best line. Look at this, really cruising, really going fast and using every transfer on the course. His 450 wall ride on the plexi, and boom, going in his cradle that really he mastered last year. You could see it in Chengdu when he got second place in the finals. He really did the double loop and the handflip 360 on the spine. Damn, Joe, that's a really good run right there. Plan 360 and the fakie hand plant 720 on the spine, going backwards, ending with a backflip on the transition at the very end of his run. That was really complete, you can tell. He's put everything he had in there. Takeshi knows it, he knows it. Now it's up to those two guys.
Wow, two amazing last runs delivered. One from Japan's Takeshi and one from Great Britain's Joe Atkinson, both trying to rival France's Julian Kudo, who was, until just recently, sitting on top right there. Let's take some slow motion glimpses, some of the highlights from what happened in Joe Atkinson's last run here.
Damn, there was a lot of big tricks, so I'm not sure I can speak for all of them. What I can say is Miguel Martinez, the voice of rollerblading for the past 2 decades, just cheered Joe up with this amazing run. We could see Hervé, the main guy from the FISE, the boss here, just giving a big hug to Joe. It's been amazing to see this guy put together hand plants all over the course, all the biggest transfers. He's spun into the big lip. He's done all the stuff that you wish to see. Oh, and yes, it is an 87.75 points for Joe Atkinson.
And you have a new winner out here for the first stop. FISE World Series. That is Joe Atkinson walking away with the win. What an amazing contest we just saw happen before our eyes.
It's even more amazing when you know that this guy only booked himself a one-way ticket and he had no way to go back to Europe. So I guess now that he just got first place in Hiroshima, he has a ticket to fly back to Montpellier for the FISE World Series next month. That's absolutely
I love this
amazing.
guy. I love him so much. Let's take a look at our leaderboard, and this is going to be how the ranking adds up for the start of the FISE World Series. Joe Atkinson in first place right there, following very close behind Takeshi in second place, Julian Kudo in third, Yuma Boudoir. So an amazing event happened out here. We saw Julian Kudo, who sat in first place for the entire event, then just in the second last rider, taken out by Japan's Takeshi, and bumped now down into second place by Joe Atkinson. Let's take it down to our audience. Just waiting for them to set up the podium on course right now. And AJ is going to host top athletes of today's final.
Julian Kudo! Okay, in second place, Japan, your own Takeshi Yasutoka!
日本です第2位世界ナンバー2のランキングをたたき出しました安田タケシ今回バーチャルの世界チャンピオンですが今回あえてバーチャルに参戦です
Your Hiroshima, Japan, first place champion, the Yorkshire Kid, Joe Atkinson! Come on, Hiroshima!
Beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. It's been such an amazing final out here for the roller. Freddie, any last words quickly?
One word, love. Hashtag it if you want it. Love. It's all about love, everyone. Love you.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Stay tuned. We still have the UCI BMX Freestyle Finals coming your way. On behalf of Ryan Meyer, myself, everyone at the FISE organization, and Freddie White, thank you so much, and stay tuned.